They speak of the arrival of a space object 100 times bigger than 3I Atlas, a recently discovered comet. It is said the new object did not arrive by accident. This cosmic giant has a clear mission to destroy 3I Atlas. But 3I Atlas isn't just any comet. Harvard scientists have called it most likely anomalous, maybe even artificial. Is that why Swan is potentially after it? And most importantly, is any of it true? To find out, let's dissect the story, the science behind it, and what believers versus debunkers have to say. Beginning with a story that, real or not, made a lot of sense to millions of people online. Pretty massive videos on YouTube report that astronomers saw something wild in space, a new giant object 100 times bigger than the recently discovered comet 3I Atlas. They say the new object is so freaking huge, its tail looks like 5 moons lined up. Astronomers call the elegant luminous object C2025R2 SWAN, or Swan. However, very soon after celebrating their discovery, scientists realized there's a huge problem. Swan is heading toward the same direction as 3I Atlas. So you have two potential comets, or giant alien organisms, or alien machines heading toward the same direction at the same time. Both pass close to the sun the same week in October 2025, according to these YouTube channels. That closest to the sun moment is what space nerds call perihelion. 3I Atlas hits perihelion, or gets closest to the sun, around October 17 of 2025. Swan gets there at around October 20. As you can see, this is very close and extremely unusual. I mean, the existence and discovery of these two rare objects is already extraordinary. Now imagine the odds of them meeting or crashing. We'll soon verify if those dates are real or made up, but first back to the story because it gets twisted. Turns out, our telescopes will be blinded by the sun on the same dates when Swan and 3I Atlas are supposed to meet. If they shoot lasers at each other or crash or exchange fuel, the sun won't allow us to see. Well, one thing is crazier than a shady sun: the things people have observed in Swan. Some people think its center reflects light like a metal, like nickel, like some type of tough shell. Others see a changing glow around it, maybe some type of plasma shield. And when it comes to this tail, Swan's tail twitches in tiny, regular ways, like a car slowly steering. After analyzing this giant's path, they notice that this visitor comes back only once every 22,500 years. The last time Swan visited us, we were in the Ice Age. Conspiracy theorists say it is no coincidence, because when Swan shows up, something big happens on Earth. We got climate shifts, extinctions happen, and entire civilizations vanish. Believers call it a pattern. They say this is indicative of an upcoming reset for humanity, but a different group of people tell a different story. Some say Swan is saving the cosmos from the dangers of 3I Atlas, threatening our entire solar system. Are all these nonsense speculations, or are we tapping into groundbreaking territory? Let's take a look at the science, the debunker's side, and the comeback believers got. Let's begin with the most basic question. Is Swan even real? Yes! It's very real, and it was discovered on September 11th, 2025. This huge space object really did surprise space watchers all over the world. The object's name is actually C2025R2 SWAN, Swan, as confirmed by NASA. The reason why it's called Swan, it's actually because it was spotted in images from Swan, and Swan is a camera that rides aboard the SOHO spacecraft, or the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. And it appears Swan does have an impressive tail estimated at about 5 times the width of the full moon when seen in photos from telescopes. But we have arrived to the point where science and online stories like this begin to clash. These channels claim Swan's orbit takes 20-something thousand years to go around the sun, meaning it was sent a long time ago, maybe during the last ice age, as we heard before. But planetary scientists, they experience a very different reality. But how about the stories describing Swan as having a metallic cover and some type of shield that looks very much like a spaceship? Well, in reality, NASA, the European Space Agency, and independent astronomers, all of them report seeing a bright, normal-looking comet when they're looking at Swan. It is glowing green in pictures. It does have a long tail, but astronomers explain that's something comets often do when they get close to the sun. But is 3I Atlas a threat so insane that Swan must go Terminator on it? No and yes. Let's begin with no. Most scientists say 3I Atlas is just a very cool and unique comet. Well, considering what they know so far. But 2 scientists from Harvard, Dr. Avi Loeb and Dr. Eric Kito, say 3I Atlas may actually be a spying device sent by aliens. Well, they think that many of 3I Atlas's features are odd for a comet, especially the way it reflects light and how it carries metals in ways that no other comet observed has done so far. However, they explain 3I Atlas is most likely a comet. Believers remind us that it is possible to pay off or blackmail people into saying that this is just a comet. That is actually a possibility, but how realistic is it? I mean, for the government or something else to pay or blackmail every scientist and amateur astronomer on Earth, it would have to be something like 3I Atlas is an enemy to our solar system, and Swan actually being our local space hero. In that case, conspiracy theories would be right, and the ultimate space battle would be happening here in our backyard. Scientists do tell a very different story. First of all, there's no evidence pointing to Swan being 100 times larger than 3I Atlas. Scientists are actually still trying to figure out how big it is. They're not sure, but it's still not even close to what these channels claim. So the size is probably wrong. So we have a potentially much smaller Swan. Are they still gonna meet each other outside and fight till the end? Well, I'm not sure that epic battle is going to happen because scientists explain that Swan already came closest to the sun. It already happened. September 12, 2025, that was Swan's perihelion. In the case of 3I Atlas, scientists estimate that it will get close to the sun on October 29, 2025. 7 whole weeks apart. It seems that Swan and 3I Atlas are not meeting anytime soon. So far, what scientists are trying to say is, look, these are indeed 2 very rare comets, and we are very lucky to get a chance to observe as not just scientists but as humans. But you know and they know that anything and everything can change at any moment for either one or both of those comets. In the meantime, I cooked this too for you in case you're very curious, if you have an appetite for that mysterious, crazy, wild 3I Atlas, in which it really is. I am a fan. I'm not going to deny it. Thank you so much for existing, and I cannot wait to see you soon.